you the latest of rebuilding after the Baltimore Bridge collapse.
And in sports, Ohio softball takes on Central Michigan in a doubleheader. Newswatch starts right now.
As the eclipse gets closer, you'll want to get some safety glasses, and your local library may have a free pair for you. Good evening, I'm Allison Patton.
And I'm Alex Mwali. Welcome to Newswatch. Public libraries across Ohio are distributing free glasses to use during the April 8th solar eclipse. The Ohio Library Council's Jay Smith says a federal grant made it possible for libraries to distribute tens of thousands of eclipse glasses. He recommends you call your local library to see how many they have left.
As those libraries begin to run out, fake eclipse glasses are hitting the market. If you look closely, the orange framed glasses at the top are counterfeit. Real eclipse glasses, like the pair at the bottom, have reflective lenses with curved left and right ridges. According to the American Astronomical Society, the counterfeit glasses may be hard to spot because they have text and original artwork that makes them appear real.
To make sure you're not getting a fake pair of eclipse glasses, you can check the list of safe manufacturers and resellers on the American Astronomical Society's website. And you can find it at eclipse.aas.com. Newswatch forecaster Lexi Bopolsky joins us now.
Lexi, the eclipse is a bit far away still, but will tonight's sky be clear enough for some stargazing?
Yeah, unfortunately, we did have some beautiful skies today, but that high pressure system that's giving us these beautiful skies is going to leave our area and a low pressure system is going to take effect. So we are going to have a bit more cloudy weather today, but we can see that a little bit more with our national satellite. As you can see, our morning today had pretty much no clouds in the sky other than some high clouds, as you can see with that little bit of a fade right there. But as we go into tonight, we will have a low pressure system come into our area and take effect, which will affect our weekend, unfortunately, for anyone who's traveling. You really might not want to travel in this weather. It's not going to be the most sky lookable when you're bored on your road trip. But currently here in Athens, it's 64 degrees with mostly cloudy skies and wind from our west about 12 miles per hour. And we do have a little bit of a gust. We do have gusts up to 16 miles per hour right now. And today we did have a high expected of 62, but we did exceed that by about 4 degrees. We hit 66 about an hour ago, and we had mostly sunny skies and a low of 42. Tonight we can expect that low of 42, unfortunately partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow's sunrise being at 7:13 a.m. Now, you might be able to get outside and see some stars, but it's going to be a little spotty, unfortunately. Back to Allison.
Thanks, Lexi. $4 million are coming to Ohio communities as substance abuse grants through the Ohio Deflection and Pre-Arrest Diversion Grant Program. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says the funds from the Office of Criminal Justice Services will help with substance abuse recovery, which reduces crime and stress on the corrections system. Communities can use the funding to support a variety of programs, like the Drug Take-Back Days and specialized services for underserved people. Eligible communities can also purchase naloxone and fentanyl test strips for first responders. The recreational marijuana program is well on its way, and adult sales are likely beginning early this fall. After the 2023 election, possession, use, and home grow of marijuana became legal for Ohioans 21 and older, but the state is still figuring out the licensure process. The Ohio Cannabis Coalition says existing medical dispensaries will be the first to apply for a recreational license in June. Lawmakers can still make changes, but neither chamber has touched the issue this year.
Abortion remains in the courts for legal challenge, but it's unclear when we'll hear a ruling. The American Civic Liberties Union of Ohio sued the state, saying several laws on the books are unconstitutional since the passage of Issue 1 last November. Laws like 24-hour waiting period before receiving an abortion are seen by the ACLU as preventing an abortion. The lawsuit filed in Franklin County says abortion providers shouldn't have to abide by existing laws because of the Issue 1's passage. Ohio University professors are taking up a new agenda for improved job security and academic freedom. Earlier this month, members of the United Academics of Ohio University attended a day of action to advocate for the faculty. Now, news reporter Maggie Amaker from the Post attended the event and spoke with the United Academics of Ohio University about their mission. Thanks for joining us, Maggie. Now, to get us started here, let's go. So what are the United Academics of Ohio University, and what was the purpose of this rally?
Yeah, so UAOU organized a day of action in College Green on March 5th, advocating for improved job security and academic freedom for faculty. More than 150 faculty members attended this rally. Joe McLaughlin, an associate professor of English here at Ohio University, said that the initial push for unionization started back in 2020 after, in his words, the unnecessary firing of 55 faculty members. At the end of the rally, UAOU delivered a letter to President Gonzalez saying that a majority of faculty members had supported UAOU as their exclusive bargaining representative, and the letter also stated that they had hoped the university would support them at this time and remain neutral until an election.
Okay, and what was the university response to these efforts?
Yeah, so 2 days after the letter had been delivered, Michael Courtney of the Office of Legal Affairs had responding to UAOU's request. He said that the university was not given an appropriate amount of time to form an opinion on this issue, and that UAOU's filing with the State Employment Relations Board lacked evidence of majority of support.
Okay, so what other points of what were the other actions that this group took on following the university?
Yeah, so UAOU delivered 550 signed authorization cards to the State Employment Relations Board in Columbus. Once SERB is able to certify and review those cards, the UAOU can begin to negotiate with the university about the bargaining unit as well as the contract itself, and SERB will direct an election from there.
Absolutely. So in the coming weeks, what can we expect as a result, or maybe not a complete conclusion, but what can we expect to see in the near future?
Yeah, so as of now, UAOU is continuing to hold regular meetings, and they are also organizing a button campaign to increase awareness, and they hope to have an election by the fall of this year.
Okay, so you talked to a couple different faculty, obviously, for this story and reporting on it. Were there any personal connections to unionization that the faculty you talked to had?
Yeah, so a lot of the faculty in general emphasize the idea that faculty working conditions are student learning conditions, and they would like to see the university be a more united place. And specifically, John O'Keefe, who is a history professor at the OU Chillicothe campus, said that he hoped for more faculty involvement to reflect the views of all faculty.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to read Maggie's full story, you can go to thepostathens.com and take a look under the news section. Coming up, what Baltimore is doing to rebuild after a fatal bridge collapse earlier this week.
And a Texas man takes a drastic step to gain public attention.
And happy Easter weekend, Athens. We'll see what our weekend has entail for us with my full weather when Newswatch returns.
Politics is an argument about the future.
Daniel Patrick Moynihan was a diplomat, a politician, and a U.S. senator whose influence over the 20th century is still felt today.
Things are not getting better for everybody.
The war on poverty was planned over as spaghetti dinners at the Moynihans.
Equality and liberty are two different things.
See him in action when Moynihan comes to American Masters.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
22-year-old Jack Teixeira pled guilty to all 6 counts he faces.
Talking to Jack's friends, the internet was a huge part of his life.
We spoke about conspiracies and how we distrusted government.
Should the military vetting process have caught all of these aspects of his personality?
The vetting system is pretty robust, but it's not perfect. There were countless missed opportunities, and as a result, we have one of the worst leak cases in modern times.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB.
Times are changing.
Every nut and bolt, you know its breaking point, but the humans have not been quantified.
I'm here to serve, I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow, and so whatever happens, just remember that.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at 39.
You never know what's going to happen if you don't give up.
Holding it together is more exhausting than the disease itself.
You might live.
You have to hunt. If you don't do subsistence activities, you die.
It connects us to our past.
Baltimore's port reopening effort is starting today, but officials say this endeavor might take months, if not years. Several large cranes are already floating in place alongside the container ship Dolly that is still sitting trapped in the collapsed span of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. In the hours ahead, the largest crane on the eastern seaboard will join the effort. Laura Aguirre has more on the salvage operation timeline and potential costs.
We're talking 3,000 to 4,000 tons of steel that's sitting on top of that ship. So we've got work to do.
Which is why floating cranes are now taking position in Baltimore's harbor. They will be central to the daunting salvage operation ahead.
Step one of that is we're going to clear the debris from the channel. Step two is we're going to remove the vessel. And step three is remove the rest of the bridge debris from the waterway.
And when you have a chance to see that wreckage up close, you fully understand the enormity of the challenge.
8 people fell into the water when the Dolly slammed into the bridge early Tuesday. 2 survived. 2 who died were recovered Wednesday. And search efforts for 4 others who are missing and presumed dead have been paused. The governor has repeatedly credited the fast action of those who stopped bridge traffic with preventing a higher death toll.
Even after the bridge had collapsed, had that traffic not been stopped, in the darkness, cars would have continued to come. So the life-saving work that they did cannot be overstated.
One Uber driver says she was among the first vehicles stopped.
If my passenger wasn't a little bit late coming out to the car and getting into it, we probably very well could have been on the bridge when it collapsed.
The Biden administration has approved the state's $60 million request for the initial recovery and salvage operations.
This work will not just take weeks. We have a very long road ahead of us.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
The Chesapeake 1000, the largest crane on the East Coast, will soon be on site in Baltimore. It will be joined by multiple heavy lift vessels, tugs, cranes, and other recovery-related equipment. A spokesperson for the Insurance Formative Institute said that the bridge alone could cost more than $1.2 billion. Along with potentially large liability suits, that number includes medical costs for survivors, cleanup costs, and more.
Literally Anybody Else is a very real and new candidate from Texas is entering the presidential race. A Texas teacher, formerly known as Dustin Eby, legally changed his name to run for president. Fed up with America's presidential options, the U.S. Army veteran is working on securing 113,000 signatures from non-primary voters in Texas to get his name on the ballot. But if literally anybody else fails, he is encouraging people to write his name as a neither option.
In Colorado, evacuations are being lifted following a fire on Fort Carson that burned more than 100 acres. As of yesterday, it was only 30% contained. Officials believe the fire started at an elementary school which was empty because of spring break. Now, Lexi is back with me. Now, is the burn warning here in effect in Ohio still going on?
Well, we do have an increased risk of fire weather here in southeastern Ohio, and as well as some special weather statements south in the Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio border, as well as for fire weather. But our hazardous weather outlook is not actually showing up on our weather warning map here that we have at Newswatch. So basically this entire area of like Athens, Marietta, Barnesville, like all of southeastern Ohio is in this hazardous weather outlook, as well as a lot of West Virginia as well. And this is due to our dry conditions that we've been experiencing recently, as well as the breezy conditions we expect tonight and low humidity levels. But currently here in Athens, it is 64 degrees with mostly cloudy skies and winds from our west at 12 miles per hour with a little bit of a gusts of up to 16 miles per hour as well. Across the board, Lancaster, you're at 60, Newark, you're at 59, Zanesville, 58. Everyone's in the high 50s, low 60s today, so definitely feeling that spring weather that we're going to be expecting for a lot longer. Today we did have that high expected of 62, but we did exceed that and hit 66 a little earlier before the show began. And we have a low expected of 42, and we had mostly sunny skies today as well. Now, those mostly sunny skies are moving out of our area, unfortunately. That high pressure system that has been giving us those beautiful conditions is unfortunately going to be leaving us, and a low pressure system is going to make its way in, giving us some more cloudy weather. Tonight we can expect a low of 42 and those partly cloudy skies, as well as a sunrise at 7:13 a.m. And tomorrow, unfortunately, a beautiful high of 68, but 80% chance of showers, unfortunately, with a low of 45. Now we can visualize that a lot better with our surface analysis. We have this low pressure system come into our area with a bit of a cold front too, which will be slightly affecting our north. So if you are moving, let's say from Athens to Cleveland, do bring not only a light jacket for the rain, but a little bit chillier up there as well. And we're going to be seeing that as well into tomorrow night with that cold front inching closer to Athens. However, it's not very strong. You're not going to expect that drop from 68 to 58 in just a matter of 2 hours. But you will have a little bit of a cool down going into Sunday, which unfortunately is really only going to stick around for Sunday. But the sad part about it is that beautiful weather is going to be a little bit spoiled by those chances of rain going from our weekend going into next week. So unfortunately, if it was clear skies, it would be an absolutely beautiful Easter weekend, but we do have those chances of showers due to this low pressure system. And we are going to be expecting that warm up with 73 on Monday, 70 on Tuesday, but we will have another system and a cold front come through Wednesday as we do drop from 70 to 52, unfortunately. But we'll take it back to Allison.
AAA is warning drivers you may have to shell out more money for gas this spring. According to a AAA spokesperson, the early spring surge in oil prices is likely because of Ukraine's recent strikes on Russia's oil infrastructure. Gas prices are expected to resume their usual slow and steady seasonal increase with spring break and summer vacations ahead. Today's national average is 24 cents higher than a month ago and 10 cents higher than a year ago.
With cases of monkeypox on the rise, health officials are sounding an alarm. And now another variant of monkeypox is a potential threat, while vaccinations to protect against the virus are lagging behind. Mandy Gaither has more on what you can do to protect yourselves.
In the U.S., Mpox vaccinations are low, but the number of cases is climbing. The CDC says there have been 511 reported this year through March 16th. That's about 70% higher than they were at this time last year.
We're not even halfway through the year, so the concern is that those numbers may increase.
Dr. Jared Fox with Orlando Health says anyone can get the disease, which is a less severe cousin of the eradicated smallpox virus, but men who have sex with men are at greater risk. It spreads through close contact. The numbers are still far below the tens of thousands of cases in 2022, but after a quieter year last year, experts say the U.S. is vulnerable for two reasons. The amount of federal resources available to manage the public health response has been cut, and the CDC says in most states, less than a quarter of the population at risk has been fully vaccinated with the 2-dose series since it was authorized for emergency use in August 2022.
It's highly effective at preventing disease and especially preventing complications associated with Mpox.
In December, the CDC also warned about another subtype of this virus that's been found in Africa that spreads more easily and causes more severe disease than the one from the 2022 outbreak.
We want to get the word out that if you're in the high-risk populations that have been most affected by the Mpox, that you get vaccinated.
For Health Minute.
Monkeypox symptoms are typically flu-like, including fever, chills, exhaustion, headache, and muscle weakness, followed by a rash with raised lesions that scab over and go away after a number of weeks.
Next, Ohio softball faces Central Michigan in the first part of a 3-game series. And for the latest from Newswatch, follow us on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
Today can be a new beginning. Bright things ahead, darling. Brightness and joy.
That's genuinely classy.
I just want to be right here in this moment with you.
You set kind of a high bar.
I'm just getting started.
Television will never be the same again.
Magnificent.
Whoa, whoa. On Finding Your Roots, Michael Douglas.
Never heard of it. It was a closed world.
And Lena Dunham.
My 8th great-grandfather was the mayor?
An ancestor eludes the law.
Your great-uncle Michael was a wanted man. Do we know what he is wanted for?
And a heartwarming discovery.
Do a lot of people cry when this happens?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
Happy Friday and welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Andrew Bolby. Ohio softball lost the first game of a doubleheader with Central Michigan earlier this afternoon. The Bobcats and Chippewas kicked off the 3-game weekend series with a defensive battle. Here in the top of the second, Ohio's Lauren Uhas makes a diving catch and then converts on the double play. In the next inning, Abby Tolmie for Central Michigan singled into right field and brought Angela Petrovich home for the game's only run. The Bobcats ended the first game with 3 hits, but left 6 runners on base and were held scoreless for the 5th time this season. Led by a big 4th inning, Ohio reversed its fortune in the second game, winning 4-1. Switching to high school softball, Athens is heading into a Saturday matchup with Indian Valley after taking down Logan last night. The Bulldogs were in complete control from the opening pitch to the end of this one. Athens senior Kayla Hammonds recorded her first career home run on a 3-run shot. Not to be outdone, her twin sister Kendra added to the Athens lead with a solo home run on the very next at-bat. Fern Sigmund was solid on the mound for the Bulldogs, pitching all 5 innings and allowing just 3 hits. Athens does have tonight off, but will play Indian Valley tomorrow at 10 a.m. before kicking off conference play on Monday at Meigs. The Ohio baseball team just finished up its second of a 3-game set against Ball State. The Bobcats were overpowered by the falling Cardinals, falling short 12-3. Ball State took a 3-0 lead in the second inning and never looked back. Ohio had a slimmer of hope, in the top of the 7th when A.J. Roush hit a 2-run homer. However, Ball State answered quickly. In the bottom of the 7th and 8th innings, they added 7 total runs to push the game out of reach. Cardinals junior pitcher Merritt Beaker was dominant, totaling 13 strikeouts. The two teams will meet again tomorrow at 1 p.m. in Muncie. Obviously, it's been a tough stretch for the Ohio baseball team, falling short for a couple of consecutive games. Alex, are you a big baseball fan?
Okay, I am a baseball fan. I've definitely had my fair share of games. Sadly to say, not too many Bobcat games. But hey, maybe I'll go out there. Maybe they'll have better luck if I'm in those stands.
I'll definitely be looking to get out to a game at some point this spring.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Andrew. Still ahead, how a worldwide picture competition is planting more trees. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
The story of Caesar, most extraordinary political story in Western history.
Julius Caesar is the most dangerous kind of demagogue.
He's immoral, he's irreligious, he wants to rule Rome.
Step by step, Caesar is being corrupted by this power he's got.
Democracy has to be fought for. If we take it for granted, a new Caesar will come.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
Are you nervous?
A little. And action! Bright things ahead, darling. Brightness and joy. I've got plans.
Everything feels better after a cup of tea.
No talking.
I just want to be right here in this moment with you.
You're going to be a bigger star than ever.
This is good news for all of us.
Best episode ever.
Regardless of your stage of life, whether you're starting your first job, getting the keys to a new home, or enjoying retirement, it's never too early or too late to create an estate plan to care for loved ones and support the causes that are meaningful to you. WOUB Public Media is pleased to have partnered with Giving Dogs, a free resource for building an estate plan that fits your needs and protects the people and causes you care about. Visit WOUB.org and click the support tab to get started today.
There's nothing like it.
It's a crossroads moment for humanity.
It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, don't miss it.
When you see a total solar eclipse, you are seeing the hottest thing you will ever see with the human eye.
If we really want to move forward, we have to be curious about what those different futures could look like.
The scale of what we see here is unparalleled in the world.
Wednesday on WOUB.
Finally, tonight, a photo of two feathered foes won first prize at the World Nature Photography Awards. Tracy Lund from the UK won the $1,000 prize for her image that was selected over thousands of other submissions. Lund says took the shot with an ADSLR camera in waterproof housing and then lowered it into the water off Scotland's Shetland Islands. Organizers with the group also say they plant a tree for every entry they receive. Wow, isn't that a beautiful photo, guys?
It's beautiful. Almost like looks like portraits. It almost looks like painting. And
Right.
Speaking of painting, I'm painting Easter eggs this weekend. What are you guys doing for the Easter weekend?
I don't have any plans personally. I think I'm just going to relax and enjoy the weekend.
Right.
I mean, my parents are coming down, so I get to see them, which will be really fun.
That's exciting.
But
Okay.
Yeah, how's the weekend? The weather?
Unfortunately, the weather's not going to be great. It is going to rain, but currently here it is 64 degrees with mostly cloudy skies with wind from our west at about 12 miles per hour and gusts of up to about 16 miles per hour. And tonight we can expect that low of 42 with partly cloudy skies and tomorrow's sunrise at 7:13 a.m. Tomorrow, however, like I said, we are expecting some showers as that low pressure system comes into our area. 80% chance of showers with a high of 68 and a low of 45. So at least, you know, it's going to be raining, but at least it'll be warm. With our surface analysis, we can see that rain is coming in. It's going to stay. She's not going anywhere, unfortunately for us. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all have a chance of rain here in Athens. But like I said, until Wednesday, we're going to have some pretty warm temperatures, and so the rain is really all that there is to be upset about. But that's it for weather. I hope you enjoy our unfortunately rainy but warm weekend.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Lexi Belpolsey and Andrew Bowlby, I'm Allison Patton.
And I'm Alex Mwali. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great weekend.